We just came out of executive session. Good evening. Welcome to the Township Committee meeting of December 9th, 2025. We are now reconvening. Ms. Lenzo, please call the roll.
Committeeman
Here.
Britting. Committeewoman Hand.
Here.
Committeeman Lapani.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Payne.
Here.
Mayor Ciccarelli.
Here.
Administrator Ferrera.
Here.
Attorney Willard.
Here.
Okay. Please join me in a salute to the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. First item is approval of minutes. May I have a motion and a second to approve the executive session meeting minutes of November 25th, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeeman Britting.
Yes.
Committeewoman Hand.
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Payne.
Yes.
Mayor Ciccarelli.
Yes. All right. That was it. So some general announcements before we get into committee reports. Hanukkah begins on Sunday, December 14th. So to all of our residents celebrating the Festival of Lights, I want to offer my warmest wishes for Hanukkah. May the glow of the menorah bring light, joy, and peace to your homes and to our entire community. So happy Hanukkah. And I think we'll be lighting the menorah on Sunday. Christmas is also coming. I want to extend my warmest Christmas wishes to all residents who celebrate. May your celebrations be filled with joy and the joy of family, warmth and cherished traditions, genuine spirit of hope. So Merry Christmas, everybody. And here's wishing all of Hillsborough residents a warm, safe, and festive holiday season. Related to that, on Friday, we had a chilly Friday night at the Township tree lighting. We kept warm by the radiance of the holiday lights and the friendly glow of community spirit. On behalf of the Township Committee, thank you for Parks and Recreation and Public Works Departments for once again putting on a festive night, a festive event that delighted all who attended. It was a good night, nice and cold, very wintry. All we were missing was a couple of snowflakes, but it was a good time. On Sunday, December 7th, I was joined by Committeewoman Samantha Hand and members of VFW 8371 and residents to commemorate Pearl Harbor Day with a Garden of Honor ceremony. Brief, it was cold, but respectful of those who lost their lives on December 7th. And lastly, on the 5th, Hillsborough celebrated the grand opening of its newest 7-Eleven location. I was joined by Committeewoman Samantha Hand, representatives of the Economic and Business Development Commission, and residents to welcome the new businesses in town. I was also joined by the Slurpee, the dancing Slurpee up there. The store brings added convenience, creates local jobs, and supports continued economic growth along Route 206. The same owner has had that property for years and has been through all the various gas stations that are there, and now he has 7-Eleven. The 7-Eleven folks were there. They're in the one picture. So they alleviated any concerns about there being two 7-Elevens. They said, nope, that's in the plan. We're good. So it's pretty much a family business. The people been working there for 20, 30 years. So we're happy that they've invested and turned around that site so quickly. So that's it for my reports. Now let's go to reports from liaisons, starting with Committeeman Britting.
Thank you, Mayor, and happy holidays to everybody. Happy Hanukkah coming up, and have a very Merry Christmas to everybody. It's a great time of year. Hopefully all act like children too and look for some presents and have a really good time and spend some time with family. As it relates to 7-Eleven as well too, just so everybody knows, they have really good air pump for your tires. It's actually very accurate. I used it the other day and it was perfectly accurate on both our cars. So it was like, if you need air in your tires, it's working really well. So just a heads up. All right, so from the administration office, businesses and organizations planning a special event in Hillsborough must follow a new application process. To begin, submit a completed special event form and questionnaire to check the clerk's office. This document is essential as the clerk's office uses it to determine which departments need to review your application and whether any fees or permits are required. So that's our first update from the administration office. Next is from our EBDC, so the Economic and Business and Development Office. So the NJEDA resources are available for local HBA businesses, so the Hillsborough Business Association. The New Jersey Economic Development Authority offers a variety of business grants available to local HBA businesses. If you are not familiar with these programs, please contact the Economic and Business Development Office to learn more and get connected directly with their team. So one other update as well, too, for businesses in Hillsborough. SCORE resources for local businesses, SCORE in all capitals. SCORE is a national nonprofit. It is offering free mentoring, business advice, and webinars. Services are available to local HBA businesses and residents starting or growing a business. The EBDC, or the Economic Development Office, the Economic Development Office can connect you to mentors, workshops, and online resources. It's just a number of, there's a plethora of different offerings that our business group offers our local businesses to help support them. It's very hard sometimes starting a new business and being a small business in a complicated matrix business environment. So it's nice to see the additional resources being supported for them. Next is from Health. The Hillsborough Health Department is hosting its annual free rabies vaccination clinic on January 10th, 2026, which is, my goodness, not too long away from now, a couple weeks, from 10 a.m. until noon at the Hillsborough DPW facility located at 21 East Mountain Road. Contact the Health Department for more details. Human Resources. Harriet, you're in the back there. Harriet, Human Resources. Hillsborough is hiring for a variety of positions. Please see the Hillsborough Township website and the Mayor's e-news for a list of all positions. Hillsborough is a great place to work. We win awards all the time for it. So if you're looking for a job, look in Hillsborough. Information technology. A new email scam is targeting planning and zoning board applicants. You might have seen that online if you're on Facebook or some of the Instagram, and I think some of the news media picked up on as well too. This scam is targeting planning and zoning board applicants with phony invoices demanding substantial application fees via wire transfer. The fraudsters copy official board agendas, use the municipality's logo, staff names, and making the emails appear legitimate. Please be aware that the municipality does not accept wire transfers for any type of payment, so don't fall for it. Call us if you have any questions. That's the key. Call the administration office and ask them. Recreation, one of the best recreations in the center of the state of New Jersey. So here we have the Pajama Drive. The 2025 Pajama Drive was a resounding success thanks to the generosity of our residents. More than 500 pairs of pajamas were collected, and all donations will be distributed to local families in need. Really, I just want a heartfelt thank you to all of those people that were so generous to give this time of year. House decorations, the lights are strung, and this is also from Recreation. House decorations, the lights are strung, and the lawn ornaments are all out. It's time to vote for the best decorated house in Hillsborough, so please go online and do that. Visit the Hillsborough Recreation website for a map link and voting survey. Voting closes on Wednesday, December 17th. Miss Lenza, we're going to have to put some more stuff on social media, make sure people know, because the 17th is coming up really way too fast. Just a few more items for me. The last ones are from Social Services. So Mavericks Fast Pitch Pie donation. The Social Services Department would like to extend a huge thank you to the Mavericks Fast Pitch softball team for their generous donation of 50 pies to the Hillsborough Township Canned Food Pantry. These pies will be distributed to families who are part of our food pantry, allowing them to enjoy a special treat just in time for the holidays. Two more items from Social Services. Kind-a-thon donations. As a part of the Branchford Education Foundation's Kind-a-thon, Christian Murdy, R.J. Steele, and William Steele teamed up to make breakfast baskets for the Hillsborough Food Pantry. The boys worked hard to create 25 baskets, including cereal, granola bars, oatmeal, bowls and spoons, which they happily delivered to the food pantry prior to Thanksgiving. Thank you very much to all those people that did that. It was a huge success for those families who were in need and for people who were looking for a little something extra on Thanksgiving. Last one is from Gratitude. The Hillsborough Social Services Department administers the Community Assistance Network Food Pantry to help combat food insecurity for local residents. This essential service relies entirely on the generous contributions of individuals, groups, businesses, and houses of worship. The department expresses sincere gratitude to all donors and volunteers as their collective support is crucial for many residents. And for any of those of you who are looking to donate to the social services and to the can, please go on their website to look what they're looking for as well too, because you may think people might need something, but they will put on their website what people actually need this time of year, and it's really, really helpful to those people. So thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you, Committeeman Britting. Next is Committeewoman Hand.
Yes, thank you very much, Mayor. I'll be quick. So happy Hanukkah. I know I'm looking forward to latkes this weekend, so hoping everyone has a really nice holiday. Merry Christmas as well. We've got that coming up. And I know we're going to talk about it, but I also wanted to take a moment to thank the Credit Card Advisory Group and all of the people that have worked since 1995 to disperse those funds to a lot of the really fabulous groups within town. So just a thank you to everyone who put time and effort into that. Also, look, I don't know if you're going to have a slide for dog licenses. So those of you, I know I have 3 rescue dogs, and reading this made me put a note in my phone to make sure the dog licenses are up to date. So keep in mind renewal starts January 2nd. Last day to do that will be in February. That's going to come quick. And we can do it online now with the SDL process, which is great. And then for the library, a ton of fun events. So please check out the library programs on the website. Back to you. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Committeewoman. Committeeman LaPanny, next.
Happy holidays, everybody. Wake up already. It's getting quiet. Almost done. Thanks to all those who came to our holiday festival last Friday night. Weather was nice, crowd was great, and it was always nice to have Santa visit us, and all the kids seem to be pretty happy. But next year, if you're not aware, I'm sure most are, is the 250th anniversary of our country. So we just had our not to be confused with, we just had our 250th anniversary of Hillsborough. So we're actually older than the country, so we got that going for us. We are planning, we do have a planning committee for America's 250th anniversary, and we've been meeting over the past few months to plan fun and educational activities and experiences for the whole community. Please keep an eye out for updates on all our platforms, and don't forget to complete the survey in tomorrow's e-news. You're not going to want to miss this, so we're looking for some community input as to what they might want to see us do to commemorate the 250th anniversary of our country. Winter inspections from the building department, just while scheduling for outdoor inspections during winter months, please be reminded that the area cannot be covered in snow. If an inspection site is covered in snow, it is unsafe and the inspectors are unable to perform the inspections properly. Those inspections may have to be rescheduled. Engineering also, the Harvard Way Hillsborough Campus Detention Basin, which was severely damaged back by Tropical Storm Ida, which was some 4 years ago, finally has been successfully reconstructed to its original design. Although the project faced delays due to NJDEP environmental protection requirements and delays, the engineering department ensured the necessary repairs were completed. This reconstructed basin is crucial for maintaining flood control in the surrounding areas. Final seeding, however, because of the time, will be finished in the spring. Public Works, during obviously snow events, please comply with all street parking restrictions to allow snowplows to operate safely and efficiently. Please keep sidewalks clear and use pet-friendly ice melt. We also ask everyone to adopt a hydrant. If there's a hydrant near you, please help us by clearing the snow away from it. The house you may be saving is your own. Be aware that primary roads are cleared first based on safety priorities, with neighborhoods following quickly afterwards. Finally, please ensure your mailbox is protected from plow spray. And remember, you can report any issues like potholes, down trees, or drainage problems via the town's website or by phone. And that's it, Mayor.
Thank you, Committeeman. Deputy Mayor Payne.
All right. So first up is Hillsborough Fire District is sharing best practices for keeping your home and family safe this holiday season. Please see tomorrow's e-news for a list of holiday safety tips. Police Chief Mike McMahon would also like to remind Hillsborough residents to protect themselves from becoming victims of theft. Keep your vehicles locked at all times. Fobs in the car will allow bad actors to see that the car is unlocked from afar. Remove all your valuables, especially personal identity items. If you must leave valuables in your vehicle, please lock them in your trunk or your glove box, and don't leave any holiday gifts in your car longer than you need to. And lastly, Operation Shoebox. Hillsborough community members recently volunteered at the YMCA on Saturday to assemble approximately 500 personal care packages for Operation Shoebox, New Jersey. This all-volunteer local nonprofit has now shipped an impressive 200,000 care packages to our servicemen and women since 2005. A wide range of volunteers, including VFW 8371, Scouts, police, and Township staff, packed the boxes with essentials and heartfelt letters of gratitude. So we wish everyone a safe and happy holiday. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. So for my reports, I have, first, a Farm Road grant. Hillsborough has been selected to receive a significant grant from the New Jersey Department of Transportation fiscal year 2026 Municipal Aid Program. We've secured a grant of almost $506,000 for improvements to Farm Road. The NJDOT grant will fund the majority of the Farm Road project that will mill and pave the whole, the length of it, I think from 206 to Triangle Road, I think is the portion, with the remaining balance covered by the Hillsborough Road Bond, depending on the bids that come in. Scope of the work extends beyond simple repaving. It'll include upgraded sidewalk ramps at intersections to meet the latest ADA handicap standards and installing enhanced walks. A lot of that work has been done across the town. See tomorrow's press release for more information. So that work will get done as part of next year's program. There's also going to be a press release for the dogs licensing and rabies clinic. The clerk's office did officially crunched the numbers from the 2025 dog license registrations and has announced that the town's reigning champion of canine naming, and that is Cooper. Cooper is the #1 dog name in Hillsborough, so for anybody with a Cooper, it's a very popular name. Bella is the second. So see tomorrow's press release, you'll get the top 10 list. My dog's name is Keith. His name is not on the list at all. So there will also be a reminder that the dog license registration begins January 2nd, as Committeewoman Hand mentioned, and will be an announcement for the free rabies clinic, which is held on January 10th. So it's always a nice event to go to. Stay connected. As always, you can stay connected with all events via Wednesday's Mayor's e-News and Thursday's Experience Hillsborough Bulletin. Be sure to follow and like the official Hillsborough Township Facebook page, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram. Tune into Hillsborough's YouTube channel and sign up for Hillsborough Alerts for traffic and emergency notifications. So this is my final Township Committee meeting as mayor, and serving all the residents for the past 3 years on the Township Committee has been a great experience, both fun and gratifying events, as well as some difficult issues that we've had to resolve. Not everyone gets to serve as mayor, and it's been an honor and an experience that can be carried into the future. Students often ask, what's my favorite part? And I usually said, marrying people, officiating. They're like, you got married already. No, it's officiating marriages, officiating weddings. That was always a fun thing in any way to help people. And through the years, other memorable participation includes things with the Robo-Raiders, anything with the schools, the children, educational and employment programs, the Scouts, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, sporting events, cultural and religious events, veterans events, just all of that has been a great experience. But really as a pattern, I think, of leadership, and what I really like doing is really cross-pollinating and connecting people through the town. Various interests that would not seem to be connected eventually are through something. And the main one that I have is diabetes. I ended up connecting a steel manufacturer in town with the diabetes group because they make the Omnipod pumps. It's just a small, and that came about because I'm on the planning board. So it's just connecting all of these dots and being in touch with the various parts of the community, and putting these connections together, even through businesses that all have a common goal or something related. It was always, I've relished that even through my years leading up to the Township Committee. We also leave a legacy of projects that I expect the future Township Committee to continue to deliver on, and that's the proven road paving and preservation program that we've had, where we're now addressing about 13 miles a year of our roads to get our roads into a permanent cycle. That's something that we've got going over the past 3 years. We've got Wawa coming to town. At least that's the talk. We've got Chick-fil-A coming to town. We're going to sell the Mindell property and preserve more open space in the coming months. We're doing stormwater improvements that Committeeman Lapani talked about, and and other projects to make sure the DPW and police can continue serving the residents long into the future. And I look forward to seeing the progress on these infrastructure improvements. So it's hard to remember all the interactions I've had with residents and tried to help each and every one of them, and always presented the truth and facts and the perspective about what was best for Hillsborough. And also, I can stand firmly behind every action I've taken, which always puts Hillsborough and the residents first. I certainly made a lot of friends, and that includes the hardworking administrative staff as well as staff in each department who all work for the residents. I want to thank the staff and police departments for unwavering support through the years to help me do this job and represent the residents. So it's been a pleasure and an honor serving Hillsborough, and I again thank the staff, colleagues here on the dais, and residents for helping me along with this great experience. So I'm not moving. I'll be in town. I'll be around. So now on with the business, and first order of business. We have some personnel items, appointments and police officers swearing in. I see them all in the back. So first is personnel, resolutions, and appointments. We have 5 resolutions. Would anyone like to take any of the items separately? Hearing none. May I have a motion and a second to approve personnel and appointment items 1 through 5?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any comments from the dais on 1 through 5? No? All right. Any comments from the floor on items 1 through 5? All right, I see none. I do know I mentioned the police. I know we have a swearing in, but we're also authorizing 3 to qualify for permanent positions, so congratulations. Roll call, please.
Committeeman Britting,
Yes, and welcome.
Committeewoman Hand,
Yes, and congratulations.
Committeeman Lapani,
Absolutely. Thank you all.
Deputy Mayor Payne,
Yes, congratulations.
Mayor Ciccarelli.
Yes, enthusiastically. So, all right, now we have the oath of allegiance. So I'd call forward Jonathan Pope and Captain McCarthy to swear in our new officer.
She could, yeah.
Just the witness? All right, I'll just say it out. I state your name,
I, Jonathan Pope,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will impartially
that I will impartially
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the officer
all the duties of the officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Do you get us?
Make sure he signs, Mayor.
Yeah, I know.
Otherwise, he's not official.
We'll get him signed. Get him.
5 holes in it now. It's fine. It's fine.
From now on, it's those will be blocked by us.
That's right, exactly.
All right, we have a proclamation tonight. Alex Shee. Come on up, Alex. Now below the mic finally. Here you go. This is a proclamation for you. Bridge, huh?
Yes.
All right. Alex Shee is a 6th grader at Auten Road Intermediate School. He achieved a silver medal at the World Youth Bridge Teams Championship with the USA 1 and under 16 team in Italy in 2025. Congrats.
Thank you.
Oh, he wants to talk already. I'll be done with you in a second, all right? Alex was introduced to the game of bridge in 2023, played and studied the game for 2 years, and then traveled to Atlanta and qualified for the USA team. Alex met with his coach and teammates 3 times a week preparing for the World Championship. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. That involved 6 days of competing. He also won the Special Judges Award for Piano Duet and the Gold Prize for Piano Solo at the National League of Performing Arts competitions. He also volunteers at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia by participating in piano performathons to raise money. And Alex hopes to create a bridge club in Hillsborough schools in the future. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the Mayor and Hillsborough Township Committee, commend Alex Shee for achieving a silver medal at the World Youth Bridge Teams Championship, and we wish him good luck in all his future endeavors. Congratulations. Take the mic.
So I do play bridge, and I think it's an excellent game that teaches people logical reasoning and all the skills that are necessary to do well in any endeavor. So I highly recommend bridge to the kids because although it's known as a game with seniority rights, I do believe that kids have every right to play the game as well. Also, I do play piano, as said, and I also enjoy that deeply. So, thank you for this honor.
Debate club, maybe, in the future?
Mayor,
Sam, we'll take a picture.
Mayor, can I just give Alex a compliment too? Because I had a chance to speak to the schools last year, and Alex was there, and we were asking a ton of questions, and he was able to literally get 100% of the questions right. And he was also really good at listening to the other students as well, too, giving them a chance to answer. So I was really proud of you for that. You did a really good job, man. Smart boy.
You can all go up with him. Yeah, yeah. Give your phone to her and she'll take a picture for you. Sam, you're up. Come on.
She'll probably take the best picture of all that. Getting up the angle.
She goes down like immediately. Who thought to do that?
She's so good at it.
All right, we'll take a short break and a pause here while when we return. I'm reading what it says here. Just go on.
We're changing it up now.
Oh, you guys.
Samantha.
Wait a minute. First presentation, Samantha Ball. I gotta raise the. It's all you. It's all you.
Right after the break. Give her the plaque.
telling us what you did. All right. Samantha Ball is recognized as one of Somerset County Business Partnership's top 40 under 40 this year. Congratulations. You hold it. I don't want to drop it. I don't want to be responsible for it.
You should hold it.
Samantha Ball, Hillsborough Township's Assistant Planner and Sustainability Program Manager, has rapidly emerged as a leader since joining the township in 2019. In her current role, she's been a driving force behind major planning updates and has transformed Hillsborough's environmental efforts. Under her guidance, the township achieved Sustainable Jersey Silver certification, the Gold Star in Health, and was named the 2025 Sustainability Champion, earning a record-breaking 845 points. She supports the master planning updates, manages our GIS systems, and has facilitated robust public engagement through our key community surveys. Beyond the professional duties, Samantha demonstrates deep community commitment, chairing the Hillsborough Express Youth Creative Team and administering the award-winning Sustainable Hillsborough Steering Committee. She played key roles in achieving the township's AARP age-friendly and safe routes to school designations, and she created innovative programs like Arts in the Park and the Arts in the Park initiative. Samantha consistently bridges planning, sustainability, and community engagement, making Hillsborough a model municipality. Her achievements, leadership, and forward-looking vision make her an exemplary recipient of the Somerset County Business Partnership's Top 40 Under 40 recognition. So we got to see that celebration yesterday.
Yeah.
So Samantha, the mic is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to the entire Township Committee and our administration, especially our administrator, Anthony Ferreira. Everyone has been so supportive and encouraging of my growth throughout my entire 6 years here at the Township. I've worked in a ton of different departments. I specifically want to shout out Kathy Fariber, Assistant Director of Social Services. She was the one who first told me to apply for this position, which was floater, which is how a lot of people get started here. I see a lot of nods in the audience. Oh, yeah. And then I also want to thank, I've worked in Public Works under Rich Resby, Construction under John Fiedler, Economic and Business Development under David Coyce and Susanna Karras, and now I'm in Planning and Zoning under David Coyce and Marcy McLaughlin. And, I've just had such an amazing time working here and working with our amazing volunteers. And I'm just, I love working here. And I want to also thank specifically my parents who are watching in Tennessee. Hi. Yes, thank you. Oh, and my fiance. Oh, he's going to kill me. I love my fiance. Doghouse. Not a good one.
Take a picture.
Good cover.
Good cover.
That was good.
I hope he wasn't watching.
He's watching.
Sorry, Vinny. No. And I sent him the link too.
It's recorded.
It's all good.
It's not the first time, not the last.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, Mayor, stay up there, please. Township Committee, will you please join the mayor down the floor? You stay there. No.
Got pizza coming.
Oh. Is that right there? Give it to him? Go ahead, give it to him. So this is the opportunity that we have to recognize Mayor Ciccarelli for his year of service as mayor in Hillsborough Township. We have a committee-based government where when we vote in committee members, and then we vote in our mayor on a yearly basis, or it can be a term that happens longer time, depending on how the Township Committee is. And just want to take a moment to recognize Mayor Ciccarelli for all of his amazing work that he's done over the past 3 years, and prior to that on boards and commissions. He's worked incredibly hard. The many hours late at night that we have worked on trying to make sure good things happen for the town. John, I'm going to call him John, not Mayor for a moment. John is just that guy that truly cares about his neighbors, cares about Hillsborough Township very, very much, and we're going to miss him dearly. He is an expert in the engineering field and has been the centerpiece of a lot of great things. So we hope that the Mayor Ciccarelli, John Ciccarelli, sticks around in some form of capacity to help the town, because his experience and is just second to none. So, John, we love you, buddy. We miss you and already, and just God bless you, buddy. We just love working with you.
I did say, kind of said my piece up top, but I really appreciate this. I think it's a gavel. I'll just pull it out. Yep, there it is. So officially, I'm the mayor, or 2025. So thank you, Township Committee, and again, staff, and for years of hard work and dedication. Actually, Samantha's story kind of tied in with what I had said, that you're connecting a lot of different dots, right? Sustainability, planning, the health collaborative, all that stuff comes together either in the master plan, or you just connect different dots and bring everything that gets done here together under one umbrella, mayor's wellness, everything that all marches in the same direction for the benefit of the township. So I wasn't just full of it when I said that. So thanks again, and as Committeeman Britting said, I'll hope to be contributing in other committees and continuing the work how it started, kind of full circle. So thank you.
Now you can break.
Yeah, we'll take a break. All right, quick break, and then we'll have a presentation, the water story. So everybody else will probably bolt, but front row here, stick around.
Samantha? I didn't think you've ever gone to an information session.
All right. I lost my, the sign? He saw you.
Paying attention.
I lost my talking script. So we have resolutions,
Presentation.
Stormwater.
see, I told you, I lost it. The water story, please come on up.
Which way do you want me to face? That way, okay.
However you want.
Okay. All right. Hi, my name's Kelly Francisco. I am the chair of the Sustainable Hillsborough Steering Committee this year for 2025, and I'm here to present our water story for Hillsborough Township, protecting our future. Next slide. All right, so this is just a little bit about our committee. So ever since 2009, by proclamation in 2006, but ever since 2009, we've been participating in a program called Sustainable Jersey. And basically, we attempt to make this town an even better place to live by making it just a better for our citizens economically, environmentally, socially, making us more healthy, just making us a better community altogether. Again, I'm the 2025 chair, and my vice chair is sitting right there, and I think the same shirt almost, but that's Dr. Chris Abrupta. And we have our other committees here. We have Phil Rudio, Tita Sharma, and Barbara Porter, as well as our fearless leader that you've already been introduced to, Samantha Ball. And we have two Township Council liaisons, Robert Brittig and Catherine Payne. Next slide. Okay, so just Hillsborough at a glance. Again, we had just celebrated our 250th because we're older than the nation. We were in the first 104 municipalities in this great state of New Jersey. It's a 55 square mile town, and that is the largest in Somerset County. We have about 43,000 citizens. At any given time, it goes up and down. And the water features, because this is about our water story, cover about 10% of town. So about 5 square miles, we have about 421 acres of surface water, so that's all of our rivers and streams and ponds and lakes, and another 2,800 plus square acres of, sorry, not square acres, acres are, Chris is keeping me honest, acres of floodplains, so that would be areas that get periodically inundated with water. And so, the vision really here with the municipal water story, the Hillsborough Township water story, is to try to sustainably manage all of these ecosystems, and that includes all of the forests, meadows, all of our wetlands and streams, and including all of our agricultural areas and our developed land. Next slide. All right, so where does our water come from? So we have two primary sources of where we get our water, where our township homes and businesses get their water from. Number one is public water, and so if you turn on your tap and you have a water bill that comes, you're getting your water supplied most likely from the New Jersey American Water, and they source their water out of the Raritan River and the Delaware Raritan Canal. But a lot of our township homes aren't in a more industrialized area or a densely populated enough area to have that. So we still do have a lot of township homes that are on their own personal wells, their own private wells. That means that inside your own home, you have a well tank, and that water is not actually coming from an entity that's testing it and making sure it's safe for you. So you need to do that on your own. Okay, so yeah, next slide. Okay, so we have a number of large key waterways that are very important to our town, especially when it rains. But, you know, Raritan River, the Millstone River, the Neshannock River, Royce Brook, those are, you know, some of the names that, you know, the roads even are named after a lot of these waterways. So the current status of some of these water bodies is impaired. That means that it has something in it that we consider a pollutant. So it could be, you know, things like nature going around and dropping stuff, right? And that washes into the waterways and causes issues with E. coli, causes issues with different types of nutrients that can be a source of pollution. But we also have roadway runoff, right? So your car is leaking oil, and that might wash off into the roadway when it rains heavily. So we do have a number of streams that are currently impaired in town. Next slide. We also have issues with flooding. If you have lived in town for at least 4 years, we just referred to Ida, right? The name that is infamous in this town. And so you know that there are certain areas in town, low-lying areas, where we do, the roads will go underwater. Sometimes the homes will be, get water in them, flooding water. So we have a very, what we call flashy system. And that is just because, you know, there's a lot of urban cover. This is not a city, but still anything that is impervious, meaning the rain can't go through it, like a roadway, like a parking lot, like even your home, or even if you have a gravel driveway that you drive on a lot, that is, you know, the water is not going to filter into the ground, and so that can cause the water to run off quickly to our nearby streams and flood our roadways. And so that is one of the issues that we deal with periodically, and it causes not just, you know, a pain when you can't get where you're trying to go because of the flooding, it also causes monetary damage to the citizens and to the township. Next slide. All right, after we're done using the water, we talked about where it comes from, we talked about having too much of it, but when we're done using it, where does it go? For a good amount of our population, it actually goes off to a wastewater treatment plant, so everything that you put down a drain or flush down the toilet goes and gets treated before it's released back into the environment. But again, we do have a lot of homes that are in more rural areas, and those rural areas will have their own on-site treatment called septic. And that, again, is a responsibility of the homeowner to try and maintain that type of system. So those are private systems. All right, next slide. All right, so Hillsborough has been really successful in trying to, you know, be more sustainable and be more environmentally friendly and just be, you know, manage our water. And so we have been leading by example. One of the programs that we have been involved with for many, many years is the mayor's campaign the challenge for water conservation. So around April-ish of every year, we usually send out notifications that you can go online and pledge to try and fix your leaky faucets, or, you know, make sure you turn your faucet off while you're brushing your teeth, you know, while you're doing the actual brushing. Those kind of actions can actually save us, you know, 8.5 million gallons is what we estimate. And we were in first place in New Jersey for medium-sized municipalities in the 2019 Mayor's Challenge. So that's one way that Hillsborough is really at the forefront of taking charge on these water issues. Green infrastructure. So my colleague, Dr. Chris Abrupta, is involved with the Water Resources Program at Rutgers University, and he's a big champion of something called rain gardens, one of which is right out in front of this building. So we have that beautiful little garden just off to the right as you're entering the building. It serves a purpose of collecting the stormwater when it rains and storing it, and it also, you know, has the added benefit of being beautiful as we walk past it, and being a beneficial, beneficial for insects that can land on the flowers. Okay, and it's an educational tool as well. So, what are some of the priority issues that Hillsborough still faces? We've touched on them a little bit. Next slide. The first issue, again, flooding. right? There are certain areas in this town where you just know, you and I, if you've lived here for any number of years, you know that if it's rained heavily, oh, I'm probably not going to be able to get from here to there on that road. And so this repetitive flooding, it's a problem. And so, and it's caused by heavy rains. And of course, we're getting these more frequent heavy rainstorms, that are causing the issue. So some of the strategies that we're looking to implement in order to reduce the impact of flooding, we have a target of completing 1 to 2 green infrastructure projects from the impervious cover reduction plan that Rutgers created for us within the next 2 years. So that's one of the suggestions of the committee. And then, just looking at areas where we can retrofit so that, it doesn't have to be all natural, but you can do certain things to try and retrofit areas so that the water has some place to actually get into the ground and or gets guided away from the roadways and stored in some way before heading directly to a river. Next slide. All right, issue number 2, drinking water. Up here, again, a lot of our township homes are on private wells, and so there is not an entity that is testing that water for you. It's coming directly from the groundwater and pumped into your house. Some of you may have treatment systems. Some of you just have a sediment filter. And so it's really important that the township people understand that you do need to test that and make sure that you don't have things like arsenic. That's a naturally occurring element that can be found in certain areas. Also, we're finding increasingly that now that we test for something called PFAS, or you might have heard forever chemicals, that this is an issue that's popping up where we didn't know that it was there, but now that there's a test for it, we're finding it in a lot of places, including in Hillsborough. So it's important to test for these things. So our strategy here is just outreach, trying to get to people that have wells and inform them of the importance of testing that water, people who've never tested their water before, trying to bring them into the fold so that they now test, encouraging citizens who do have tested their water in the past that they should do it at least once every 2 years. And then having referral programs so that more people become informed about this. Next slide. And then our third issue is impaired water quality. So again, there's wildlife out there, deer, geese galore, right? Hillsborough is a very natural place. It has a lot of little critters running around, and little critters leave presents behind, and roadways wash things off. And so some of these things can make their way into our waterways where, it takes a lot more treatment after the water's been collected for it to reach your tap. And so we want to come up with ways that we can sort of treat it at the source. One of the ways, if you look at that beautiful picture, that's a stream that is surrounded by some vegetation. The vegetation's growing nice and high on either side of that stream. So if a flock of geese is somewhere 100 yards away from that stream and they're leaving their little presents behind, when it rains, it's not going to go directly into that stream. The vegetation that you see is going to sort of take up some of those nutrients and prevent the waterway from being impaired. So that's just one of the strategies. So identifying these high quality streams, coming up with ways that we can create or restore the vegetative buffers, looking at ash trees, right? We've had a lot of ash tree mortality in town over the past couple of years, looking at ways that we can take some of those places where ash trees have now disappeared or fallen and plant natives in that area, and just maintaining these buffer zones so that the water remains protected. All right, and next slide. All right, so what we have developed is a resolution for Township Committee. And so the resolution that's before the Town Council authorizes a submission of what we call navigational path, and that is a requirement to earn a gold star from the Sustainable Jersey organization standard in water for the Township of Hillsborough. So if we can do that, if we can earn that gold star, I think if I checked right, that we might be the first township in all of New Jersey to have 2 gold stars, one in health that we earned 2 years ago, and one in water. This resolution also declares Hillsborough Township as being eligible for that gold star and because we have completed 2 major things, this water story that we presented to the public that I'm presenting to you now, but we also presented, and we have a website for it if you're interested, as well as a natural resource inventory. And it represents the Township Committee's formal endorsement of these specific actions that we've outlined here, and in order to, basically undertake making our the water quality in our community better. All right, and with that, next slide. I want to thank you for your commitment to this community and to Hillsborough's future. Thank you guys for considering this resolution, and I'll take any questions if anybody has any from either side of me.
I'll just make a comment to Kelly and Dr. Abrupta and the whole staff and our new 40 under 40 superstar over there. Obviously I've been on the committee for a long time, and Anthony before, we've made a direct commitment to make Hillsborough one of the best places to live, and this is part of it. There's a lot of small things that make up big things, and this is one of them. It's no easy task to come up with these plans, obviously. But I thank you for all that you do for the town. You guys are volunteers, and this is a very important program for us and the residents. So thank you.
And I think, having made this presentation, and you've got the three items in your or action items, if you will, but the one that jumped out immediately to me was the drinking water quality issue and the well testing. I mean, we dealt with that today. So there's and cross-connecting committees, and you guys are working. I don't know if it's in a bubble or not, but it shouldn't be, and it's not anymore, because he's heard it, and the health department, will Mike at the health department will write that letter for you all day long and knows all about PFAS and is right up in there with you. So if you're going to do community outreach with respect to that issue, the tools are here. So we just need to push it the right way, and we'll take care of that.
Okay, thank you.
And trees, DPW. I mean, they're on the ash borer tree. We've got some scenarios where things you were describing are happening, and so maybe there's something we can do in certain areas that will alleviate some problems we have. But it's something to consider. So I think your presentation falls on a lot of ears, and make the connections to the departments that are doing the work already, and just focus it and concentrate it, and to everybody's betterment. So thank you.
I just wanted to add that I've worked on almost every sustainable meeting this year. And I just want to say, there's so many committees and boards and things like that, advisory committees that meet in the town. Sustainability is by far the biggest commitment, probably more than most of the dais sitting appointments. Like, they work harder than the Board of Adjustments. I would argue, time-wise, almost as much as the planning board. There are subcommittees, there are committees, there is constant push and pull and effort, and all of it is amazing. And this is honestly just a fraction of what has been done this year for the town, and it's phenomenal work. So I was very, very impressed sitting there all year.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for all you've done. And I think we had a question from the audience too, or a comment from the audience.
Sure. Yeah.
We were talking about, water runoff, and I'm not here. It's great that I was so happy to hear all this. But I've lived in my neighborhood for 30 years, and in those 30 years, the houses are getting bigger and the lots are getting smaller. And it is so obvious on one bike ride. And that's I don't know how that was addressed in here. Is that something you're looking at? We're talking about the neighborhood on Amsterdam Drive. I don't see much grass.
Okay.
And my yard is an acre. And now I remember when we first went in there, it was only a half acre and above. And
Well, so any sort of development, so the question for anybody listening at home, if there is one person out there, the I don't know.
There is.
Okay. The question was about development and larger homes on smaller plots, and how that might be impacting the issue with a lack of being able to, the rain to be able to get down into the ground, infiltration. And so, houses being on smaller tracts is actually good as long as we are, is a good thing, as long as we are putting aside a section that's completely undeveloped. It's better than having, more spread out areas where you're breaking up and people are keeping giant lawns as opposed to letting the area go natural. But if what we're doing is taking farmland and then, growing houses on it, that's going to increase the amount of what we call impervious space, area that where the water is not infiltrating. So that actually would lend itself then to more flooding. And that's one of the things that we would want to look at, ways to address that, so that if the water is not getting down into the ground, we can maybe put it into some sort of detention basin, like one of those depressions in the ground or retention, so that it's held somewhere other than going directly to the river and the river flooding everybody around. All right.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
How do you reconcile it?
Deputy Mayor?
You'll have to see the evidence.
I love winning, by the way. Keep winning. More gold stars.
That, thank you.
Keep going. Kelly, keep going.
And I think the best thing they did was give us a pause to regroup themselves, because I was like, girl, we can get all the things now. We're doing it. All the things.
Oh, on the sustainability?
Yeah. Yeah, you guys.
All right, thanks for coming.
Thank you. Have a good night. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
All right. So the next order of business is the consent agenda, items 1 through 16.
Sam, leave your stuff.
Take it. 1 through 16. So we're going to hear all comments first. After that, if any committee member wants to take any of them separately for voting purposes, I'll give you the opportunity to do that. There's no need to take items separately for the purposes of commenting or questioning. So on the consent agenda, would any comments from the dais on the consent agenda 1 through, start with you, Bob.
Sure. So just three, that's four total, but I'll just address the 3, 9, 10, and 12. I'm just happy to see that we're continuing to support the police department and making sure they have the resources that they need. I think that's incredibly important. It's a growing police department with a town that needs that type of attention to it, and I think there's a lot of great things going there. So I'm glad to see that. And also number 15, for those in the audience, that is the resolution that is associated with the previous presentation that happened for Sustainable Jersey. So that's a great thing, too, for the gold. We need the win.
Right,
Sir.
15. Anybody, any other comments on what, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15 that Bob raised?
Just on the, well, I had others, but on number 12, I don't know if we are missing one of the invoices. because it looks like it was for 21,000, yet the invoice was for 10,000. If you double the invoice, it adds up to the 21, but the quantity said 1, so I just wanted to ask for clarification on that one. So number 12.
Scott, do you have them? It's for the radios. It's for the existing VHF radio equipment for the PD.
For Motorola,
Is it 1 or is it 2?
I can show it to you if you want to see it on the computer. On the quantity, it says 1, and it's 10,000, I think 700, but yet the resolution's for 21,000. If you double it, it happens to be the same amount.
It's for Tuesday. If it's double.
It's not on there.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, it is only for.
So, Erica, either the resolution amount is wrong, or we're missing, maybe there was a second invoice.
I believe offhand it's only one though,
Okay,
now that I'm looking at it.
okay.
Number 12.
Do you want to see the resolution?
Wait a second, it is 2, because 1 is replacing existing and 1 is a new one. So it is 2, it's 1 is replacing existing and 1 is a new one.
Yeah, but the invoice totals 10,000.
On each.
Peter at VHF.
Yeah, it's one of everything though. It adds up to 10,720, 2960.
The replacement of an existing and the Motorola. Well, it says not to exceed 21,000, actually.
That's on the,
Yeah, just usually they're for the amount, so I just thought we should get clarification. It does have a budget line item attached to it, so kudos to Christian for at least making sure it was sourced. I just want to make sure we approve the right thing.
Fair.
yeah, I would imagine, if it's for the replacement, I know we did have to do replacements and an ad, so it's probably for that thing.
It's a replace and a new, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, that's the way I read it.
And it's also saying not to exceed that number as well, too, so it's not saying that's the actual spend per that
Okay.
item, and it
So-
comes under that.
All right.
So we're still approving something appropriately.
So that was one question. Number 16, and actually this was also another question. I don't know if Catherine, Deputy Mayor could answer, or Sergeant McCarthy. Around number 16, the money that we are paying to repair, multiple items. There was a driver that hit four different items in town, totaling over $8,000 in damage. Are we going to be getting that money back? Is the town going to get the money back from the insurance company of the driver?
I would assume if we are, if we're going through the insurance and they're at fault for the accident, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because it looked like, I think it was unfocused driving, which I thought was a very nice term. So unfocused driving, they struck 4 different items, a guardrail, a pole, like 4 different things.
Right.
I hope they're okay. But it was $8,545 in damage that the town is paying to fix. That's a lot of money. I just want to make sure we're getting our money back. So,
If it's a guardrail, all that, and something we have to replace immediately for safety.
for sure.
Yeah, the town's gonna have.
Same as a pole, but the driver is responsible ultimately.
Yeah. And so I just wanted the confidence that,
Yep, that's how that goes.
that the insurance company would be on the hook for that. Yeah, let's see, it was,
I don't think it's the insurance company, to be clear, it's the driver. When there's public property like that, like a pole, the driver is billed directly for the pole. In this case, I would assume the guardrail is the same.
yeah, it was a guardrail, a wooden pole, a utility pole, and a tree. 1,
Okay.
2, 3, 4, like smack, smack, smack. So, okay. So as long as we're billing the driver, just want to make sure
It
we're
goes to
getting the money
insurance.
back.
Yeah, it'll be, yeah. All right.
Okay. And then you didn't ask about these numbers, but I just wanted to, again, number 4, thank you to the credit card committee and all the work they've done over the years. And then also, thank you to Somerset County. So the Somerset County Cultural and Heritage Committee awarded Hillsborough $402,000 to help support the Vanderveer House. So it was incredible that they awarded us that grant. And it was interesting because one of the requirements of the grant, which is new, one of the requirements is that we need to make it accessible to the public. So the county's take is, look, if they're taking, taxpayer funds from Somerset County and it is benefiting a structure in Hillsborough, then we need to make it accessible to the public so that anybody within the community could visit it. So we will be excited on historic preservation to look at what we can do to not only continue to restore Vanderveer House, but also, it's almost 300 years old, by the way, but also what can we do to do something accessible to the public. It would probably be outside, as the structure wouldn't be able to have people inside in its current state. So just wanted to say I was excited about that grant and to thank the county, and that was it. Back to you, Mayor.
Mayor, may I just make one statement on that last one, too? I think if you're on social media, you can see that Mr. Greg Gillette, who does Gillette on Hillsborough, talked about that recently as well, too. So he's our local historian who we had brought on earlier in the year.
Yep, and he's head of historic preservation.
last meeting. Yeah, he's doing great.
Our grant writers and Edmund who put the grant in.
Yep, absolutely.
Committeeman LaPanny, any others that haven't been addressed?
I will just point out that we are granting a license for the Kringle Market, which is happening down at Flander this weekend and next weekend. It's a great little gem of Americana. I'd recommend that you go and see the little micro shops that pop up and support our local distillery and brewery if that fits your boat, but if not, there are it's a great little couple hours there to get the spirit of Christmas, pick up a Christmas tree or whatever, but it's been going on now for a couple years, and it's nothing but magical.
So on that too, I just want to add that the Kringle Market also, the parking is $10 per car, and it benefits a local nonprofit as well. So it's all kind of geared at giving back to the community with all the local vendors and things like that. I think there's 28 or 32, I forget the number exactly, of little local vendors. And last year it was bitter, bitter cold, but it's a fantastic weekend jaunt out for the locals.
Okay. I think, does anybody want to, let's go comments from the floor on 1 through 16. Come in.
They're in the back.
They're in the back?
Come on up.
And Marie, go ahead.
Don't wait. Yeah. Right, this is for consent agenda 1 through 16.
Excuse me. Maria Janusik, 720 East Freck Avenue, Manville, New Jersey. I'm also a Hillsborough Township property owner, Block 86, Lot 3, 2155 Champlain Road. Consent 6, resolution authorizing refund of tax overpayments. There are a lot of overpayments by CoreLogic. What is CoreLogic? Is that some kind of a business? They seem to own a lot of property in Hillsborough, and over the years, they've been getting repeated refunds. Who are they?
Bill, do you remember the answer you gave last time on that?
I'm sure it's a third-party payer. A lot of people that have mortgages, the mortgage companies hire out a third-party payer to manage the escrow accounts. And periodically what we have is sometimes we have double payments on accounts. And when those double payments occur, they're refunded. We have a lot of properties in town.
The first name on there are Vikas and Zarana Patel, 6,592. How does it happen that could be such a large overpayment? What would cause that to be, for someone to have to get such a large overpayment?
They paid $6,000 more than they should have. Or they made a double payment, like
Yeah, you could have many circumstances. You could have a closing of title on a particular house, and both it's paid by the closing attorney, and in the meantime, the bank also makes the payment. There could be a number of reasons why the township gets a double payment, but the only reason it would be on the agenda is if our tax collector has confirmed that there actually has been a double payment and that a refund is due.
Okay. On consent number 11, that resolution requesting approval of items of revenue and appropriations. I know that Hillsborough is getting that 402,402. But it says here that a like sum of 402,402 is hereby appropriated. Does that mean that additional 402,000 is being taken out of the budget, Hillsborough's budget?
Is that the grant money
No.
that we
It's
just
the grant
talked-
money we're getting that we just spoke on.
that we just talked about for the Vanderveer house?
Right, but the second to the last paragraph, it says, be it further resolved that a like sum of 402,402 is, and the same is hereby appropriated under the caption of general appropriations, operations excluded from caps. So
Correct.
Sure.
what does that mean?
It means that, as we've indicated before, it means you're getting a grant fund. So the first part that you're reading is an acknowledgement of receipt of the fund. And the next part, the CFO is saying, then I am creating an account and putting it in there for that specific purpose. So it's being appropriated for that specific purpose. And in this particular case, that specific purpose is the Vanderveer house.
Okay, all right, so that paragraph is referring to that money.
It
that-
can't
can't
be
be
used
used
for
for
other
anything.
We're
things.
getting it, and now we're appropriating it for that specific
Okay,
purpose.
all right,
Only.
thank you. And consent number 15, resolution authorizing the submission of a navigational path, a requirement of the Sustainable Jersey Gold Star Standard in Water. And here it talks about,
That's the Gold Star resolution that we just talked about in the
yes,
presentation.
yes, and it's mentioned in here, the forestry management plan and New Jersey urban forestry.
Correct.
Trees are a very important environmental feature,
Correct.
not only for the air quality, but also as far as water.
That was the whole presentation.
That is, at planning board meetings, a lot of times waivers are given for these types of things. What would be a consideration to allow a developer to remove a lot of trees beyond what's
Good planning board
normally
question.
permitted?
It's a planning board question. We're not doing that here.
I
That's a
guess the
planning
short
board.
answer, Ms. Janasek, is I can't prevent somebody from developing their property because of there's trees on it.
All right, thank you.
Any other comments from the floor on items 1 through 16? All right, seeing none, would anybody like to take items separately? Saying no, may I have a motion and a second to approve consent agenda items 1 through 16?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeeman Birding,
Yes.
Committeewoman Hand,
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Payne,
Yes.
Mayor Chicarelli.
Yes. All right, thank you. Public hearings. First one is 2025-16. An ordinance amending Chapter 205, massage establishments, Section 205-6, operating requirements, and Section 205-13, violations and penalties of the Code of the Township of Hillsborough, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey. May I have a motion and a second to open the public hearing for ordinance 2025-16?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Committeeman Birding,
Yes.
Committeewoman Hand,
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani,
Yep.
Deputy Mayor Payne.
Absolutely.
Mayor Chigarelli.
Yes. So do we have comments from the dais on 2025-16? No? All right. Comments from the floor on 2025-16? Seeing none, may I have a motion and a second to close and adopt ordinance 2025-16?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
And roll call, please.
Committeeman Brenning.
Yes.
Committeewoman Hand.
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Payne.
Yes.
Mayor Chigarelli.
Yes. Okay, next is ordinance 2025-17. Ordinance amending Chapter 143, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 12, Schedules, Section 143-30, Schedule 1, no parking of the Code of Township of Hillsborough to prohibit parking on Milburn Drive, Claus Court, Hutchinson Drive, and Myers Court. So this is the ordinance. Before I ask for any motions, the original public hearing here, as described, was to propose some permanent parking restriction on one side of the street in the named roads within a residential neighborhood. We brought this up. I want to emphasize that this ordinance is a response to safety concerns and complaints that were received following several large events held at a farm in the neighborhood. We received some reports about public safety hazards, difficulty with emergency vehicles, and so as an immediate response, the township placed temporary signage at a recent event which limited parking to one side of the street. That seemed to be practical, temporary solution, but it does not address the long-term problem. So we met there was a meeting, several meetings, to determine the most immediate and seemingly effective and enforceable path to address this recurring safety concern, and proposed that a permanent one-sided parking restriction was a quickest and way to ensure that emergency vehicles could have access. We also recognize the farm's right under Right to Farm Act, another thing we have to consider, which permits them to hold these events. So while the farm activity is related to the increased parking, tonight's focus must be on the proposed parking ordinance, which is within the Township Committee's immediate control and not the Right to Farm Act. This will ensure we want to ensure the surrounding streets are safe for all residents, especially in an emergency. That's the township's non-negotiable responsibility. So at least this ordinance is an initial attempt to manage this impact. So we introduced it last month, and then had some discussion then. And on the next day, we sent out we personally notified the residents on the affected streets about this public hearing and encouraged you to submit feedback. We did receive feedback. It progressively came in faster as the meeting approached, but we definitely received more feedback. We got one today at, I think, 6:40. And we heard you. You know, that input was very important. And there's a lot of good ideas in there, some things I don't think we all thought about, or maybe we did and need to take a look at combined with other factors. There's a lot of moving parts here. But the overwhelming response indicates that residents are opposed to this specific ordinance. They know that the parking, it's a concern. The residents have been proactive, recommending several alternative solutions for managing event parking at the farm, some of which we dealt with and we'll have to deal with the county as well, but that's okay. Some feedback contends that we're punishing residents of this neighborhood by restricting parking, but that's not the intent of the ordinance. It was trying to come up with a viable solution that was permanent. So we need to determine the feasibility of a lot of these solutions because some of them would be difficult to enforce. We do need enforcement mechanisms, so that's part of the process here, as well as the time to implement it. But we don't expect the farm to have any events over the winter, we hope. If they do, they need to follow what they're supposed to do. But given this unified feedback, for the most part, it's unified that they're against this resolution. I think it's necessary to pause and consider that there might be some more agreeable solution, another viable solution maybe that addresses both the farm's operations and the neighborhood safety concerns without this permanent restriction. So tonight is our opportunity to hear from you. We do have a lot of, we have considered and read a lot of the emails. But with that, what I would look for is a motion to table this until we have way more options. So we won't have an official hearing on it tonight. I would like a motion and a second to table it, and I'll caveat that with the fact that we will still hear from the public. I mean, they came out, so we'll, hear from you as well, hear from the public who came out tonight to talk about this ordinance, and we'll put that in with the planning department, the planning and zoning department, the police department, ag and farm and county. We'll put all of this into the grinder a little bit and see a little bit more what the options are. So I would like a motion and a second to table ordinance 2025-17 until
Motion to table.
Second.
roll call.
Committeeman Briding,
Yes.
Committeewoman Hand,
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani,
Yes.
Yes
Deputy
to
Mayor
table.
Payne.
Yes.
To table it. We're not going to vote
Listen
on
to everything I just said.
But you can,
We're not voting on, we're not
Just
voting
so-
for the ordinance tonight. We're going to have you guys come up and talk.
Where are we at?
Okay,
Mayor
but you guys
Ciccarelli.
are still going to come.
gotcha.
It's okay. Sorry.
For-
Where are we at?
For the
Mayor-
benefit of the members of the public, what tabling an ordinance mean is they've decided, they've heard the feedback from the residents, and they've decided, listen, we're going to pull this ordinance at this point in time. Therefore, you're welcome to come up, you're welcome to speak, but at this point in time, they've heard what you've had to say, and they agree at this point in time not to move forward with the ordinance. If in the future, this were to come up again, it would have to be reintroduced, renoticed, and everything like that. So they're tabling it at this point in time. There's not going to be a public hearing, but as a courtesy, if anybody still wants to be heard, you can feel free to come up to the microphone and state what you have to say. But again, they have received your letters, they've heard what you had to say, and at this point in time, they're not proceeding with the ordinance.
Thanks for that clarification.
I'd like to make a comment.
So we're,
I still need a roll call for Mayor Ciccarelli.
what was the last one?
You were the last one.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And so with that, I don't know if anybody on the dais wants to comment on the situation, and then we can hear from the public.
So a couple things. There were many email that came in, and I thank everyone who's both in the room and online, hopefully, that did submit those emails. There's email are also going to be forwarded to the county for their consideration. Right to farm is their thing, not ours. That's not something that we can control here. However, we want to partner with them very strongly with this farm. There's, just from a process perspective, and make sure that we're very thorough and that they also hear your feedback. The other thing I wanted to address is I was so excited about the testimony that, sir, you were able to give last time, and even more excited that we were able to pull all of the body cam and car footage of that interaction. And I'm so happy to report that our police acted completely appropriately from what they had done. That it's not illegal to park on a street unless you're blocking a, sewer or a fire hydrant or too close to the corner and things like that. So I just want to commend our police, despite what was said last meeting, that they did a great job. They were very thorough, and we appreciate that by both the video and footage that we were able to obtain. So that was the one thing I wanted to say. From an open space perspective, I have been on open space since even before I started as an elected official here. Open space, this is very important to us that we make sure that we get this right, that this farm acts appropriately and within the metrics that they can without over-engaging in this kind of behavior on a constant. So we just are very concerned with that from an open space perspective as well. That's the only comments I had.
So I would jump in just to say that I think we heard the town when there were complaints about parking. I know we have a sensitivity around making sure that fire trucks and ambulances and things can get through. So we were concerned about parking. And I appreciate the recommendation or the analysis by the police department, but it was very overwhelming from the residents that this wasn't the right solution. So I would urge that, to the mayor's point, that we kind of pull back, look at some of the options, and I think the county does have other options. It is also my understanding that although somebody has a right to farm, it also can't, impede and really cause a lot of havoc for everything around it. So I would love to understand what the farm's obligation would be to provide on-premises parking so that it is not, spilling over just into the neighborhood around. So I think there's definitely, other avenues that need to be explored, and then we can come up with a really thoughtful solution to the issue. So thank you very much for coming tonight, and thank you to my colleagues for agreeing to table this. We will come up with something better for sure. Thanks, Mayor.
Any other comments from the dais? No, hold on.
We're going to call for that.
Well, you'll get plenty of time to put comment up here, plus your neighbors will have time to comment. So, so this obviously is a sensitive area, right? So we're always looking for the benefit, health, and safety of the residents, obviously. This is something that, like as the mayor stated, based on the police, what they thought was the easiest and most enforceable option. Now, obviously, there's opposition to that, so we're always willing to listen, but obviously, whatever is decided amongst us as committee people and you as residents, I don't think that everyone's going to be 100% happy, just from the nature of the area and the farm, but we're willing to try and find the least objectionable outcome, and that's our goal.
All right, and so at this time, we've heard from the dais. So come on up for public comment on related to 2025-17. Like I said, we did receive a lot of email with good suggestions, including parking on site, things that we're going to consider. So you were asking, come on up.
Where would we look to know?
Please come to the mic. Come to the mic and state your name and address, and then ask away.
All right, my name's Robert Shaw, 1 Myers Court. How will I know if this comes up again? Is there a website to go to see if this comes on some type of agenda?
So as the mayor mentioned, we'll re-notify the public just the way that we did this time.
Oh, you mean a note in the mailbox?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
and it is published. There are
Yeah.
public notices on the agendas for every meeting. If there's a new ordinance introduced ahead of time, what's the?
Well,
is it
I would encourage all members of the public, hey, it's only every 2 weeks. Take a look at the ordinance when it's published. It has to be published before the meeting. Take a look at it and see what's on the agenda. If anything tickles your fancy, come on in.
It'll just be on the Hillsborough website?
Hillsborough.nj.gov.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's on the township website, all agendas, and the township committee meets twice a month. So please take a look at those agendas, not just for this item, anything else that again is of interest to you that you want to provide comment.
Okay, thank you.
And typically what happens is we introduce an ordinance, but not the public hearing. So it's introduced, and then two or 3 weeks later is when we do what we're doing now, so it's introduced, it gives the public time for input. This one's a little more high profile, so we'll reach out, I'm sure, to some of the key residents and anybody who asks about it. By all means, if you send an email and say, hey, what's the status? We'll respond.
Correct.
If
To
you
the
have questions
to the
tonight,
mayor-
you're
Is there
welcome.
anything that you can tell us about what some of the other alternatives that are being thought of?
Not yet. That's what we need to table.
We've got plenty of them, but
Yeah, we have probably about 40 right now.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome. Did you have any questions that you wanted to ask, or like statements or anything like that in advance?
Only like, would there be consideration, like if it went down to this, as it does in the ordinance with only parking one side, whether there would be like exceptions, like guest passes for something like that, for
I mean, that's one of the ideas, and that's part of what we'll consider.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things to consider.
Because it's not just the
operationally.
farm, right? I know that there have been,
Yeah,
I've
it's
been
personnel.
several times on that street where there's been like large
You have the
religious
lawn
gatherings.
care Vehicles take
Well,
up-
those two, but there's just been like large religious gatherings. I know there was a housewarming party one time, and it is significant. This street is narrow, right? So we're looking at every option to be as fair as we can to every resident.
So if it was only one side, they might have to park 5 blocks away.
Right.
Well, I'll give you my own point of view, and last thing I want to do is make you guys feel like you don't live in your own development. I mean,
Right.
that's important too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to consider here. So we have to use some common sense, a little empathy, and then figure out the best
Does
path
this have anything to
forward.
do with how wide or narrow the streets are in the neighborhood?
There's a lot that goes
Yes.
into it. Yeah, that's one of
Because
the many
in our
factors.
neighborhood, are the streets actually more narrow than the surrounding neighborhoods?
No, there's a like a set, I asked actually the very same question. There's a set width of streets based on how they run. Yours is a cul-de-sac. So therefore, if it like dead ends like that, it's a different width than one that would be a thoroughfare.
Oh, but the cul-de-sacs in the other neighborhoods, they're the same width as ours, I guess?
That was my understanding. That's what I was told
I
when
mean,
I was
all-
asked.
all
the
I
roads-
question.
drove
all
around
roads-
some of the other neighborhoods, and
all roads are designed to
imagination
state-
that the streets look wider.
I did the same thing. Trust me, I asked.
Yeah.
Yes.
And all roads and developments are designed according to state
Right.
regulations. So we wouldn't build roads as narrow as they might be that were not compliant with state laws.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Deanna Milano, 64 Milburn Drive. Hi, everyone. Thank you again. I wanted to first thank all of you for your quick action after the last meeting. I think that, as you can see, my neighbors have a lot of feelings about this, which is why I came last time. I'm really glad that they had the opportunity to give everybody feedback. I just want to thank you for tabling the issue, because I don't think 2 weeks with a holiday in the middle was enough time to really thoughtfully approach this. And I appreciate that you have to balance a lot of things: safety, the right to farm, the comfort of the neighborhood. I understand that. I do want to urge that you are incredibly transparent through this process. So I know you got a lot of feedback, and you're saying you've got 40 ideas and got to look into it. From a change management perspective, if the permanent solution is the only option, the only feasible option, being transparent with us about why those other options are not an option would be appreciated.
Yes, and
so-
always.
Thank you.
Promise.
Yep, so that was my only feedback, and thank you again. And I really appreciate all of the hard work you guys did and walking around the neighborhood and putting flyers in the mailboxes. So thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, for the record, I just want to amend my statement to the following. Some of the residential neighborhood streets are different based on RSIS, which is Residential Site Improvement Standards, and when the development would have been approved. So the timing of when they were approved and what was the law at that time, my zoning department head just texted me. So just so that I'm giving you the right information. So it depends on when it was constructed and what the RSIS law was, or, ordinance ruling, whatever you want to say, from the state of New Jersey. But just to be more transparent, up to the second updates.
I was going to say, there's also the reality too of curvatures of the road, the length of the fire truck. Like, you just want to make sure, and I know you all want the same thing we do, which is a safe environment and enjoyable town. So we hear you. I would say, just only because have a moment, I would encourage all of you to sign up for the mayor's e-news. That is one way to get information from the town. And I think, Erica, it may be an opportunity to put a link in the next e-news on where to find the agendas for this meeting, so that you're not, spending time,
It's right on the front
trying to
page.
find it on the website. So if we could just kind of,
Yeah, it's right on the front page.
yeah, just to help. Because we're not trying to hide information. We would love if you came to every meeting, because we're here, and it's great when people, it's sometimes a little rough when it's an empty room. So we would love if you would come.
Does anybody else want to? Yeah.
Hi, my name's Scott Winston. I'm at 3 Hutchinson Drive. And I submitted one of the emails
You
over the
did.
weekend. And I have a couple of questions because I was going through the statutes, and it seems like there's other things that can apply. And one of the things is the property, the farm is zoned RA, residential agricultural, and which is zoned for residential with the potential for farm-related activities. And I'm just wondering how broad the scope is for what you actually consider farm-related activities relative to what they're doing for the big events.
Well, that's one of the issues we had with I think, the second event, but that's really dictated by the county, I believe. So we have to, that's one of the scenarios where we have to work with the county to confirm what they're doing and make sure it's compliant, but that's at least
I
my
can give you
answer.
the nickel short answer. It has to be something agro-centric. So, for example, I'll use one. They want to have a movie night. That is not agro-centric. They want to have a ride the pony night, but have a movie also at the same time. That is agro-centric. So the event has to be.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy.
Yes, yes.
If you have
So
one.
the event has to be agro-centric as the primary reason for the event. And I'm getting a nod from our zoning officer behind me because we've been through this a lot of times, but that is the key. Yeah.
And sir, just so you know, under the Right to Farm Act, the way they've structured, the legislature structured it, is you might look at it and say, hey, wait a second, this is in violation of your ordinance. Well, under the Right to Farm Act, if they are a farming facility, I got to go to the board, I got to file a complaint with the agricultural board first.
So that supersedes the town.
I can't just file a claim against them because they're protected under the Right to Farm Act. I first have to go to the county and the ag board and get them to say, yes, this is not covered by the right to farm. And then I can go after them. So it's kind of a two-step process. I kind of go to them first. So I know you might be looking at those things and saying, hey, why don't you cite them right here? Because I got to go to the county agriculture board first and have them say, you're right, that's not covered by the right to
So
farm.
the Farm Act supersedes all the townships?
I have to go to them first, correct.
Okay.
I have to go to them first.
Okay.
Which is why, Scott, we want your feedback to get forwarded to them as well. They need to hear this as well.
Okay, and then my last question is, it sounds like when this is going to be brought back, there's already an ordinance done that we either approve, like or don't like. Is there another way that we can get involved
No.
earlier in the process?
Well, yeah, you are
This is
now.
it.
Well,
So-
I mean, we helped get it tabled, but I mean, in terms of crafting the next ordinance.
Right.
So
I
when
don't-
when we can come up with something, it'll be introduced, and then but this is not the same. Like this is tabled. Essentially, it's dead, right? And then
Right.
we're gonna.
No, but I mean, in terms of
restart.
coming up with something new, is there a way I could get involved?
I
and
think your
help, or-
feedback
or
did
do
that.
I have to get elected to do that?
I think your feedback, both. I think your
No.
feedback did that, though. Your
Okay.
feedback is what we're taking into consideration from
Okay.
all of you.
Okay, appreciate it.
And we may
correct me
have,
if I'm wrong, but I think the goal is to try to, if they have events, to try to get the parking on their property, right?
Yeah,
Isn't
that's
isn't that?
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
me,
I understand, and
It's the
I
common
think
sense
that's,
answer.
yeah.
Because I think,
totally.
Yep.
yeah, because most of the other farms in the community, they have parking on their site.
Correct.
and-
Yep.
And
That is
whether
the
it's by
common sense
statute
answer to this
or whether it's
problem.
just to be a good neighbor.
And so that's going to be tried, I guess that's going to be the goal, right?
Okay.
Through the county and through the right to farm, is that if they're having events, hey, what's your parking plan?
and I encourage you to, send an email. If you don't hear anything for a couple weeks and you get antsy, shoot an email. And what's the status, and we'll, give you an update on when the next, if there's a meeting or what's going on. So stay, by your first email gets you involved and, continue to follow up.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for your help.
Appreciate it.
Mayor, if I might, just a couple things. One, I know the captain's here, and thank him for being here, but I want to thank Sergeant LeBoy, who's been very involved ever since this happened with coming up with data. He's here this evening, as well as Marcy McLaughlin, our assistant planner and zoning official. So they're both on this, but I'm going to be quarterbacking this moving forward. I know the holidays are coming up, but working with the PD, engineering, and the TC, and health, and all the different groups that that are important, and taking all the ideas from residents and tabling all those and putting those together. So it's going to be multiple departments, including the liaisons, two liaisons to the committee, and we'll take all that and make sure we're bringing the right solution forward.
Yeah, it does cut across departments.
Right. So if there's any questions, I know Sergeant LeBoy is back there with all his data, and as well as Marcy, they're both here this evening as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Anybody else want to comment on it?
Coming up?
No?
No?
No.
Are you coming or no? Okay.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you for having your
thank you.
voices heard.
Thank
you for your patience. The last item is ordinance 2025-18. May I have a motion and a second to open the public hearing for that, for ordinance 2025-18?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments from the dais on that ordinance?
So this one's not an introduction, though. This was the approval of.
Yes, that's correct.
Correct. Yeah. So I did have a couple comments on this one.
All right.
So keep in mind, we obviously love our township employees, and we want everyone to get a raise. Looking at this salary ordinance, my concern is how we would actually pay for this. I'm looking at the rate of inflation is 2.8%. Social Security is 2.8%. Some of these are definitely more than 2.8% raises. And I guess my concern is, without new ratables coming in, these raises would really be on the backs of taxpayers to pay for and to fund. So just, why are we doing this? And would you consider tabling this?
Okay, thank you for bringing that up. So I know our HR director's back there. She can come up to the microphone if she like as well. This has absolutely nothing to do with raises or anything of that sort.
Yep.
This is simply a salary range. So I don't know, Harry, if you want to come up and just explain that and what we're doing and why we're doing it. But this is no way in making anybody's salary or encouraging any increase in anybody's salary. We're working right now with 2 unions, as well as making any decisions without any budget discussions. But
What we did is we tried to make the ranges a little bit bigger so that we don't have to keep doing this every year. We've done now, this is about the 3rd year in a row that we've had to change the ordinance. So we're just making the range a little bit bigger so it gives us a leeway to work over the course of years. But it's not salaries. That's not the salary resolution. It's just an ordinance for ranges.
The concern is it's just setting that up. And so, again, I've urged you in the past, I think every time this has come in front of me, I've definitely had a concern with it and the way it's done. I think it's also unclear. There's many roles on here that we know are not populated. So I think there should be some sort of notation, something on the ones that aren't populated, the ones that are. I know there was some underlining of things that were new on here, so that was helpful. But for residents in the town, they would not know which of these positions is filled and which is not.
I think every position on there is filled, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's still just a salary range for a position if it were to come, yeah.
And some of the titles on there are things that we have had in the past, and we kept them on there. So if we do need to hire, if somebody retires and we need to hire, instead of a director, a manager. So we do have some titles on there that might not be populated for that reason.
No, thank you. Clear on why they're on there, just wanting, there's a consideration that we should kind of notate, how many of these positions are actually occupied, because not all of them are occupied. I went through the list. And there was one actually on here with, unless it got corrected, we had something earlier for Everett. We're all very excited for Everett in his new position, but the job description for that is conflicted with this. So I think his JD said 130 was the top range. On here, I think it was 120. So we want to make sure that that they match, because it was in the same package.
Okay. Any other questions?
Does anyone else have any other questions?
No, this is for ranges, and I think businesses do this all the time. I think this makes us more efficient. It allows us to, also maintain talent. This is a large town with almost 45,000 people in it, and people expect services, and we need the right people to do the right job for the right reason. Again, we're not voting on salaries tonight. We're voting on a range, which then we can offer, and then it has to go to resolution, and we can debate people in public as well, too, like we have been over the past few years, and see whether or not they're worth their salary. I think that's what that comes down to. But for me, I think this is a range. I think this is a very efficient way to run it. And if there's a difference of opinion, that I'd be interested to know what solution would be provided to do things different. Because the statement you just made too, committee woman, was that, you didn't, or maybe I'll misquote it, sorry, but, or a paraphrase, you didn't like how this was done or something to that effect. I'd like to know what you would do differently.
So thank you for the question, Committeeman Breding. We had talked before, I'd seen in years past, each year we're inching up, and it was a matter of what is that salary range. And I understand and I appreciate that you seem to be trying to make those bigger now, but otherwise, if we're increasing the salary ordinance every year, we're just keeping or trying to keep pace and showing where raises may be. It didn't seem efficient. So, we could consider doing this a little different. I don't know if you need a salary range for every single position, maybe levels, something. But happy to talk offline.
Sure,
I
I'd
would
like-
love, I think,
last
I'm
year
not part of
we all-
personnel. I would love to be part of the personnel committee and work closer with you on it.
Well,
That would be
We
great.
did offer for you to come talk to me last year as well.
Would-
We never did. So this year, maybe let's make that happen.
Would love to be on the personnel committee. That would be great.
And just for the record, I work for a large pharmaceutical company, I have this, and so do you, and that's how they do it, too. So this is no different than large businesses. So this is where we're operating like a business.
Just
And if you
for
have
clarity too,
suggestions-
I talk with Harriet all the time in HR about questions and things I have offline. Yeah, I'm not on the personnel committee either.
Anything else?
Thank you.
I think
Not
you're,
until the public, not until the public has their,
I think you're good to go for now.
any comments from the floor?
Yes.
I expected to speak today, but
Come on, Rich.
no, I mean, this is a very interesting discussion. So I definitely appreciate.
Just say your name and address.
Yeah, first name is Richard Zagadlo, live at 14 Partridge Road here in Hillsborough, New Jersey. So I think this was introduced in November 25th. I was not part of that discussion, kind of getting caught up on speed. Understand the discussion going on board. This is not a salary, just a salary range. It's not for promotions or whatever, but I think there's, looking at the changes, contextually, I think there should be some sort of comments on the frequency of the government to take a look at how often we'll review this, whether it's on an annual basis, whether it's 5 years. We know inflation's dramatically increased over the last 5 years since COVID. So there's been a huge change in what standard livings are to maintain what you had 5 years ago. And I think the committee should be judicious for contextually in there to talk about how do we define those salary ranges, because some of them did increase. I could go by percentages. Some went up by 5 or 10,000 by the top end, which is rounding numbers. Some went up by 84% from the lower end, and there's some deviations. But I think just to be transparent to the township is here's where the range for this director position or assistant director. It's meritorious with what is going on in corporate America, because you want to grab the talent for the township. You want great people to work for the township to make us better. The challenge is we're not a pharmaceutical company, all right? I'm not saying that.
No, that's
against
okay,
you.
but this is how businesses figure ranges.
This is all about ratables, right?
Right.
So ratables come in from my perspective is either homeowners or businesses.
Yeah.
And there's a balance in that aspect, and I think we need to be judicious or just say if it's a tough year and we need to make this call, just be transparent on how that was done. Was it a 3% raise or 2.8 based on inflation? Or no, we need to increase it because here's what we see going on forward. And I know it's a tough position for HR to do that, but the numbers are the numbers, and you need to be able to quantify that.
Yeah.
And I think, looking at this, it seems like this document was somewhat dated, and that's kind of what brought up the discussion to increase some salary ranges. But I think there should be some context of, hey, let's every 5 years look at this, and in the interim, maybe the adjustment would be inflation per year. You know, that way you don't
COLA.
need to re-vote at. I mean,
Right.
so
Cost
that's
of
my
living,
consideration.
right.
It's just something for you guys to think about, whether it's a vote or to table it. It just, you know, for me, it's context on how were the numbers, you know, brought
Right.
together for that.
So just to be really clear, because you brought it up again, that this is salary range, not salary increases. So it's just, to your point, it's that transparency to say, okay, so as a manager, you could be making from X to Z, and then anywhere in between. So based on, to your other point, merit, and how long you've been here, how long you've worked, if you came with experience from another township or something like that, right?
Performance reviews.
Yeah, performance reviews, all of that gets taken into account. So this is not about salaries, it's about the salary range of potential.
Got it.
And when salaries do come up, we actually put it to a specific vote for that job, for that person, and we make it public.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it works. Like, we talk about it in public,
Thank you for
100%.
your time.
And that
You
is
got it.
open to.
You got it. No, it's a good
I just
point.
wanted to make one other thing clear, just not to belabor the point, but what has happened in the past, and I'll just use an example as 40,000. So someone's making $40,000. Well, if that person got a stipend at the end of the year, say $1,000 for working at a title or doing something outside of their job, we'd have to do a new salary ordinance because we couldn't pay that person. So what they've done in the past is make it have zero flexibility in those salaries. It's whatever you make, that's it. So we have merit increases due to union contracts and obligations. We have 2 contracts coming up this year, and right now the employees are getting 2.5%. So if we kept the salary ordinance the way it was, and all of a sudden in January we moved up from that 2.5%, say it's 2 3/4, say it's anything different, even if 1 or 2 people, now we have to redo it again. So you want to talk about inefficient? That's inefficient. So what Harry and I have done with the Finance Committee is move those salary ranges a little bit more, just to give us an area for that. It might impact one person. So this has nothing to do with anybody's salary. It doesn't. Most of the time, it has to do with that one-time stipend or something else out of the unordinary, not the salary. So we're not inflating salaries. 75, 80% of my employees are under contract. It's not how it works.
Any other comments from the floor?
Hi, Deanna Milano, 64 Milburn Drive. I actually do compensation for a living, so that's, didn't know this was on the agenda, but I am actually interested in how the salary ranges are set. Like, where is that data coming from? I know you guys are all saying it's not dictating actual salaries, but salary ranges have a really big impact on where salaries do move in the future when you're planning. If you make a salary range larger, you do increase the opportunity for, placing someone in a role higher in the range. So yes, I understand. It's a range. It gives you flexibility, which I think you need because you don't need to be doing these reviews constantly. But the data that is used should be based in fact, and I'm just curious where the data's coming from.
Yeah, the data's coming from the 3 contracts. So just because I may want to pay somebody X amount of money, I can't. It's a union contract that tells you what the starting salary is and what the range is. Forget about the range. There's no range in a contract. This is a starting salary, and you get steps, whether you're in the PBA
I'm deeply
or
familiar
you're
with
in any of those. So there's no flexibility in that range unless you're a part of the management team. Yes, there's flexibility there, but I can tell you over the years that flexibility is very thin, and there's no flexibility when it comes to union contracts. I can't pay you one thing and somebody else something else.
Yes, contracts, totally understand that.
Right,
Deanna, to your question,
I just want to know where it's benchmarked.
we always, and Anthony's all about that, we always constantly monitor what other towns around us, both the same size and area, what their salaries are paying, so that we know if we're in line, out of line, in between, or so I'll tell you that we are not the highest paid on average in this area, and we're not the lowest. We try and stay right in a competitive area that will keep keep the people we have, but also attract new stuff. But that is the data I think you're asking for.
Yeah.
The administrators actually share that data amongst each other, so they all know where they are, so that we're all theoretically within a curve that is useful.
Every position, every employee through at least 5 towns and we look at that data. Matter of fact, we just looked at it today at 5:30 again, and we look at that all the time. We look at least 2 or 3 times a year, and I'd love to keep all my employees. I can't. I'm not going to compete on price. That's not what we do. We try to be fair, but we do look at all that data. I'm all about data.
My question was just where are you benchmarking against? Are you using any surveys? I know there are government-specific surveys. I know there's public data. I know BLS has data. I was just wondering.
I'd say
where
yes,
you're-
yes,
where you're
all
benchmarking
that
against.
data, but we look at Bridgewater, Branchburg, Montgomery,
Okay.
Franklin, any like towns with our budget, with our a number of employees. We look at all that data, and we look at job ads. We look at the New Jersey League of Municipalities. We look at a lot of stuff.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you.
And just to clear up, because I don't know if it was clear from that comment, so I don't know the number on here, but I would think a majority of the positions on here are non-union. So yes, maybe it would be a matter of doing this separate for union and non-union. So because you don't have it in front of you, I just want to be clear about what's actually on the ordinance. Hi.
Maria Janusik. On this page here, it shows classification, and then it shows minimum, and there's 2 lines, and then maximum and 2 lines. And if you look at IT director, you can see that the minimum was crossed out, and there's a new minimum. And then you've got a maximum, and then the 4th line, there's another number. What is that second number by the maximum?
I think you're looking at what the ones crossed off are the old ones. The new number directly to the right of them are the proposed changes.
Okay, so IT director, the
From
minimum-
41,000 to
minimum-
75,000.
what? The minimum is crossed out, which I understand, and it was changed to 75,000. And then maximum is showing 125,000. And then next to it is 150,000. And nothing's crossed out, so what is that 150,000 after the maximum?
That would be the proposed change.
But I think for consistency, I see where you would assume that the 125 would be crossed out when they proposed 150. I think it was just a formatting difference. So I think what you would probably want to look at for all the changes is the second row of minimum, and then the second row of maximum is showing the changes. Even though, to your point, some of them are crossed out and some aren't. Like for IT director, that was a great one to point out. They didn't cross out 125, but it looks like they're proposing a new upper limit of 150. So the new range, it went from 41 to 125, then it went 75 to 150.
So you're saying that the maximum is
150.
because there are a lot of, on the second page, there are a lot also that show 2 numbers, like the municipal judge from 85 to 90,000. So you're saying those should have been crossed out and showing what the actual new maximum is?
We can confirm with either our HR administrator or the administrator. I think that's what they meant to do.
Yep.
I think it was just a formatting error.
Yeah, Harriet's nodding her head, so that is, I would look at it as a yes.
So that's what it is. It's the maxes should have been crossed out, and you have new maximums.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, any other comments? Seeing none?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think, so I would like to follow up, and Harriet, I'll definitely follow up with you, because I think it would be helpful not only knowing what towns we did compare with, but also percentile-wise, like where we landed in that. All of the facts matter, so it would be really helpful, so thank you.
Okay, so motion and a second, roll call on 2025-18.
I actually need to do 2 roll calls because we went right into public comment. So I
Need a
didn't get to do,
motion
we need the,
Close and approve?
to open. We went right into, just,
Yes. change the ordinance, it's ready to go.
And it's public,
Okay.
so everybody sees it.
So go through
Oh,
it.
shoot, yeah, I'm looking at
Yeah, it's
the
all
wrong
good,
one.
John.
Yeah.
It's okay, Mayor.
Yeah. Oh, so it's close and adopt.
To close and
Motion to
adopt.
close and
So-
adopt, I'm sorry, 2025-18.
Motion to close and adopt.
Second.
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Committeeman Britting,
Yes.
Committeewoman Hand.
I'm voting no, and the reason is I think this sets a precedent that it would grow salaries larger than what we can afford. I understand these aren't the salaries, but I think on principle, no.
Committeeman Lapani.
I vote yes because it was stated so as not to be done every year. This is so we don't maybe do it for 4 or 5 years as the comment was from public. So this isn't about next year, it's about years to come. Yes.
Deputy Mayor Payne.
Yes.
Mayor Ciccarelli.
Yes. I was looking at the claims list.
You're going too far.
All right. Claims list. May I have a motion and a second to approve claims list 2025-18?
So moved.
Second.
That's what screwed me up. Comments from the dais?
Nope.
No. All right. Any comments from the floor on claims list 2025-18? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeeman Britting,
Yes.
Committeewoman Hand,
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Payne,
Yes.
Mayor Ciccarelli.
Yes. We have no new business to address. Public comments for matters not on the agenda. Ms. Lenzo, please read the statement regarding public comment.
The township welcomes input from the public. Please state your name and your address and spell your name for the record. You will be given 1 3-minute allotment for your comments. Please understand that this public forum is not structured as a question and answer session. Comments are to be addressed to the mayor. Again, please keep your comments to 3 minutes. Thank you.
All right. Any comments for items not on the agenda? Come on up. Don't.
Maria Janusik, 720 East Freck Avenue, Manville, New Jersey. There is a development that was given approval by the planning board. It's the Sherman Tract. There was a Phase 1 that was completed, and there's a Phase 2. But the property that is the location of this development is owned by Hillsborough. That property is adjacent to my property, and I don't know what is going on with that. Has the governing body of Hillsborough sold that property to the developer, or what exactly is happening with that property?
Mr. Lapani, you want to answer that?
So when that is sold, there'll be a consent agenda to do so because it's all part of transferring the property to the developer at the point when they are ready to start developing. So until you see us actually vote on it, it doesn't happen. Am I true, Mr. Willard?
That's correct. I guess the last step in the process, that is one of your affordable housing projects. So I guess they have their approvals, so when they're ready to break ground, I imagine the transfer will take place.
Okay, because that's part of a settlement agreement, which also impacts another development that was approved, which is Glengarry, and that property is a huge development, probably close to 400 houses, and the one of the waivers requested by the developer is cutting down over 2,000 trees. And so I also wanted to find out, when it comes to a township ordinance, who makes the decision, which public officials body, the township committee or the planning board, makes the decision to allow a developer to get a waiver such as this, where over 2,000 trees are cut down, and they also, I think, requested not having to replant anything. So who makes the decision on that?
Well, the planning board approved the site plan and the development plan what, 2, 3 years ago? 3, 4 years ago?
Yeah, she was there.
Yeah, so the planning board approves that.
The planning board approved it, okay, so, but I'm saying, when there's a waiver.
It's planning board.
Planning board.
The planning board members are the ones who make that decision?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the floor? Seeing none, can I have,
Mayor, before that happens, I'd like to take a little personal time here and take a minute to publicly thank you, since we're wrapping up this meeting, for not only your wonderful service to this town, but your friendship, how you've helped me specifically through some pretty difficult times in the planning board, and some other issues that we're still facing that fortunately you won't be able to help us finish, but I just wanted to publicly thank you for everything you've done for this town, and we'll miss you.
Perfectly said.
thanks, neighbor.
I was just going to say, he was obliged to say that because he dragged us into this.
I know. Still paying it back.
No.
Thank you,
you're,
sir. Thank you, Committeeman. Thank you.
Definitely the best mayor I've seen on the dais.
We all have our attributes.
I know. I know. It's a good one to have, man.
All right, may I have a motion and a second to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Committeeman Britting.
Yes.
Committeewoman Hand.
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Payne.
Yes.
Mayor Chicarelli.
I'm going to say thank you, Officer LeBoy, for staying here, and Captain McCarthy for you know what? No.
If we don't close the last meeting.
It wasn't unanimous.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays, everybody.